think I think my keyboard was shorting my USB hub. I don't know, that was a weird thing. It doesn't, like, is that even possible? I don't think that's even possible. But it was kind of happening. Anyway, hi. Yeah. Sorry that took a while. That was like 15 minutes since I started. Oh, actually, it wasn't that long. Yeah, I just had to deal with some stuff while I was starting the stream, including getting a new keyboard because this one has the control key busted. I tried to pull one from the drawer and it worked for a bit, and then none of the things in my USB hub were connecting, so I had to get back the old one. Point is, I'm gonna be using a busted up keyboard this time, where the control key doesn't work. So that's gonna be fun. God, I love my life. Give me 1 second. I have to start out like 7 programs when I start this. Because last time I didn't remember to start up Giddy Up, I ended up... let me adjust that a little bit. I ended up losing a bunch of progress. Is it a test? It's a test, okay. Yeah, I'm getting in the festive mood. Look at me with the Christmas hat. Yeah, amazing. Okay, so. Give it a second. There we go. Okay. Last time we were working on some animations, and today I'm going to continue doing that. The issue is though that I am shit at animation systems, and that the next animations that I want to create are ones that are going to work outside of the system that I've already made. So just as a reminder, here's how the system sort of works. Right, you have hand animations and you have body animations, and the hand animations are overlaid on top of the body animations. So all that the hand animations do is tell the hands what texture they should have and which point they should follow, and then the body animations tell the hands which positions to be in on both points at the same time. And so the hands, by following the correct point, perform the correct animation, right? So what I need next is other types of animations that don't work like that, right? I have other animations where the hands and the body have to be coordinated in a way, partly because they're only possible with one state of the hands, or because they involve the hands doing a thing. So the hands have only one possible option. They're not going to have the system of having all 4 points defined, right? So that means that the animation script has to work differently. It has to recognize that we're about to start one of those animations, and then put that on the player, and ignore all the other parts. Which means that this animation tree, this one right here at the bottom, is going to start looking a bit more complicated than it does right now, right? So we're going to need another in that is alternative to this one, and another node that selects between that one and this one, and then we're going to need to hook that up to the animation script. But first, we should probably make the animation. And then kind of thinking of what to do there. Okay, so first let me bring up the reference picture, because that's just what I need to do. It should be... Can you see my mouse, by the way, on the... Okay, so the reference picture is this. Let me... There we go, okay. Right. So what we've done so far is basically these 4. Idle, idle hold, walk, walk hold. Right? We haven't done the difference between the walk and the run yet. And we have done this stop, yes, for the idle and for the hold. So what we need to do now is this attack, this grab, and this throw, right? Those are what we want to do. I would say that, for the sake of simplicity, let's begin by adding the differentiation between the walk and the run, right? I think that this is something that we're definitely gonna want here. We also need to somehow account for this system. Let this system account for having animations that only exist when when certain objects are being held, right? And I don't know how to do that. I'm gonna have to figure that out. So yeah, I'm probably, by the way, not gonna be streaming as long today, just so you know. Just so you know, because it is Christmas time, so I have to set some time aside for some stuff. Right, so how do I do these animations? Right, first of all, we're gonna need somehow for this, we're gonna need the thing that takes charge of the movement of the character to somehow report the velocity of the character, the current horizontal velocity of the character, won't we? I'm pretty sure it already does it anyway. We have this current horizontal speed thing here, right? So we can just read this. Is this a variable just at the base level? No. No? No? Are you sure? Oh, it's because it's a... okay. Yeah. Okay. Can I fire signals every frame? Is that something that's like a real big problem? I mean, I shouldn't fire signals every frame, but... oh, hold on. Give me 1 second. Right, sorry, that was sudden. Okay. Okay. So, fuck, that kind of made me look... right, signals. Sending a signal every frame. Right, so is it a huge problem if I send a signal every frame, right? It shouldn't be. Yeah, it shouldn't be, right, should it? No, but yeah, but that doesn't feel right though. Okay, so the issue is I want the animation tree to know when the player is moving beyond a certain speed, so you can switch the animation from walk to run, right? It would feel weird for the movement handler to have that hard-coded, right? like surely it's the animator who should be checking with the movement handler and not the movement handler just reporting, right? Particularly because it would have to report the velocity every frame, right? Like if the concept of running versus walking is a thing that is defined in the animation script, then the movement script would have no idea that that is even a thing. So it would need to be reporting constantly, or this guy would have to have a reference. I don't want this guy to have a reference because I already made it work without that. But then that means that this guy has to be reporting every single frame. Hey, this is my speed right now, right? And that feels like too much. Like sending a signal every frame. That doesn't feel right. Let me Google a little bit about this. Like, is it actually like a huge thing, or is it a thing that is even expected for you to do, right? Google says yeah, it's not really recommended. Okay. Because that's the thing, right? It's like it would be very easy to not do it, so I guess it's not a bad thing if the animation if the animation script has a reference to the movement handler, right? It's already just receiving signals anyway. So let's just give it a reference to it, sure, why not? Put it here. Okay, I have an issue. I was clipping my nails the other day, or actually yesterday. I was clipping my nails yesterday, right? And I clipped one too close to, like I clipped it too far down, and now it's just at the right angle, at the right placement, that it hurts when I type. This is a workplace hazard, honestly. This is an impediment to me doing my work. For as much as this can be called my work, it's really more of a hobby when I actually think about it. I mean, maybe I'll turn it into work sometime. I hope so. That would be nice. Variable that is a movement handler. It doesn't have to be the player movement handler. Any movement handler will do, right? There you go. And so now, this is really annoying because the control key, the left control key on my keyboard is broken, like I said before. So I'm just... I'm having, like, my muscle memories on my left hand, right? So every time I try and I end up doing something that I don't mean to. Okay, so that's my movement handler, and so this guy now should be able to hold a reference to that movement handler, right? And so I can now check every frame, right? But doesn't it need to have a threshold? Wouldn't it be good for it to have a threshold, right? Because I don't want it to just, I don't want the run to be just on max velocity, right? Surely it should be on other velocities as well, right? So like it should be just velocities that are very quick but are not necessarily max. So we probably would want, yeah, no, we want this to work through a signal though, actually. Yeah, no, we don't need this. Okay, yeah, I got a better idea. Okay, so here's what we can do. Oh, I've been watching scam baiting videos, right? You know those? Where like somebody will get like a scam email and they will respond to it just to waste the scammer's time. And there's these particularities, there's these just quirks that the scammers can have when they're typing, right? Because a lot of them are automated or pre-written messages, but sometimes in order to advance a scam, they have to just sort of message themselves, right? Just type something themselves. And so a lot of them will have just sort of these particularities, these peculiarities to the way that they type that come from not speaking English as a first language, right? That are fun to poke fun of because they make the scam less believable, right? I just sort of started thinking about that because some of them apply to me as well, right? Like when I actually look at myself type, sometimes I'm like, oh fuck, I type like a scammer. What the fuck, man? This is not fair. I don't wanna be like that. So I just got a reminder of it because I ended 2 sentences in a row with the word okay. Right. So what we want here is we want the movement handler has the param, so he's the one that knows the player's max velocity. So this guy should keep a variable that is the percentage, right? The percentage of the movement, the percentage of the velocity as a, or rather the current velocity as a ratio from the max velocity, right? The current velocity as a ratio of the current velocity to the max velocity. So essentially how close we are to max, right? And then when that goes over a certain threshold that is defined by another variable that is exported, then we say we're in a run, right? That variable should probably also be a movement parameter, actually. Like how much before we consider it a run, because it may affect things that are not just the animation, right? Like physically speaking, maybe you want a different reaction to other things. So I'm gonna define it in the movement parameters. God, I haven't touched this script in a while. Okay, so what we want here is this is export, another variable. This is float. This is 0 to 1. How close to max horizontal speed before the walk is considered a run. This is going to be called the run threshold, right? And then for all of these, we're going to make it 0.8, right? So you have to be 0.8 as fast as the max velocity before you're considered to be running. Any less and you're just walking, right? And so the movement handler is going to be checking that. So it's going to be to have another variable that is variable what would be a good name for that variable, actually? It's not velocity portion, not velocity ratio, I guess. I'm not sure I like that, but sure. And this is going to be that simple. We don't actually need to update this every frame. We can just have it be calculated only when it is needed. So we're gonna say when it is gotten, what you do is you take the current horizontal velocity, and you divide it by the current active parameters, point current active parameters point threshold, velocity threshold, is that what I called it? No, what the fuck did I call it? Oh, I haven't saved it, that's why it doesn't know. Yeah, the run threshold. So yeah, here run threshold, right? This is what's returned. And current horizontal velocity should be defined because because it's speed, that's why. Okay, current horizontal speed. So now whenever we want that ratio, it gets calculated on the fly. It's not a thing that is stored, right? It's basically a fake variable. So now what we can do is we can... No, it's not the run threshold. What am I talking about? It's the max velocity. Max horizontal speed. That's what it is. Okay. There we go. So now what we can do is do on the physics process, after calculating all the speed, you're going to check this ratio and you're going to see if it is above the threshold. And if it is, then throw a signal. If it isn't, then don't. Except no, because the signals shouldn't be thrown just every time that it's above. They should be thrown only when we went from below to above and from above to below, shouldn't it? So it should be calculated 2 times per frame, which is not an issue because it's just a division, right? So at the beginning of the frame and at the end of the frame. So yeah, we're gonna have variable above threshold equals whether it's a boolean and it equals whether this velocity ratio, okay, whether this velocity ratio is larger than current active parameters, run threshold, right? And then you check again at the end of the frame, right? If above threshold is not the same as this, so you calculate the threshold again, and if it's not the same as the first time, that means that we changed either from below to above or from above to below, right? So then we take action correspondingly. Also, this should be here. So you should, if above threshold at all, if we're above the threshold, then that means that we went from below to above. So then we do start run started emit. This is a signal, but it doesn't exist yet. I have to define it. I haven't done it yet. Otherwise, walk started point emit. But all of this only applies if the player is on the ground. So only do these checks if body to move is on floor. So all of this. Now it would be convenient to move all this to a different function, but I am faced with the problem that this part has to happen specifically before this, so it would have to be two functions. There might be a smarter way to do this. But for now, let's leave it like this, right? So now we have to create those functions, those signals. They're easy, just... Ooh, I have a problem here. I have a conflict of names. Because I have began walk, and I have run and walk. It's not just a conflict of names, I do have to figure out the logic too. Because these are just a toggle that depends on the velocity, right? So let's just name them based on that. So just run velocity went above run velocity, beat run velocity, ascended, broke through, reached run velocity, run speed, and fell below run speed. And went above, not went above, reached the run speed, so reached run speed and signal fell below run speed. And so the idea is now this guy is just taking care of all of those. Is below with 1 L or with 2? I think it's 2. No, it's only 1. Those are two different words. There's bellow, like bellow, you know, like very loud, and there's below, like under. I may be having that wrong. Jesus, I was talking about ESL earlier, huh? Here I go. Below, yeah, that's with 1 L, and bellow. Yeah, those are different words. They're spelled differently. Okay. I mean, I knew they were different words. I just thought they were spelled the same. Oh yeah. Okay. So it's just 1 L. So now we connect these signals to the animator and then program the animator to react to them. And then we can create the animation properly. Right, let's connect the signals. So here we select the node, fell below run speed to the animation tree, and then reached run speed to the animation tree. And then this guy just reacts. And so the way that it should do that is because the issue is I don't want to change the body animation to idle walk break I don't want to change it to run or walk when the player is in the air, right? So does this account for that? Yes, it does, because it only does that when the player is on the floor, right? So hard out today. I hate it, man. Because I want to be sure, right? That's the issue. I want to be sure that these guys are not going to be triggering animations when they shouldn't be. I want to be sure that this guy is only going to trigger those walk and run animations when the player is actually walking and running, and not when it's doing some other action. So like, let's say that the player just happens to fall below walking speed while it's trying to grab something, right? Yeah, so then this signal will be received and it might interrupt that animation, right? Like it may see, oh, we went below the speed, we have to do the thing. The player's on the ground, so we have to do the thing, and not see that we are in an animation that is not really supposed to be interruptible. So maybe what I should do is be creating a system of uninterruptible animations, which in itself is also a pain in the ass. Making games is a pain in the ass, man. Never make games. Never make games. It's a pain in the ass. Everything sucks and nothing works. Never make games. Fuck. Yeah, no. Okay, you know what? We're gonna cross the bridge when we get to it. Because I think that it should be as easy as just designating some animations as uninterruptible, right? So we're gonna let this happen. Assuming that they always do the thing that they're supposed to be, then what we're gonna do is create a new state here that is walk and run, and then we're gonna trigger them from here. No, it's not going to work. It's not going to work because they should... Because if the player is braking, then it's gonna go below that speed, and then I don't want it to trigger the walk animation. I think I need a reference to the movement component. I don't think I'm gonna get away with this doing signals. Or rather, well, I don't need it. I could do it doing signals, but that's only going to complicate things. So yeah, let's not do that. So the velocity radio has to remain. We have to get rid of these two because these are not actually useful. What I want to do is create a function that returns me that value. Right, so we're gonna put it at the bottom because this is not to do with anything about the movement. It's purely animation shit. So function So function is at running speed, and this one returns a boolean. So basically, if true, then we're at a velocity fast enough to be considered running. If false, then we're at a velocity slow enough to be considered walking. It doesn't matter if we're actually running or walking, we could be in the air, right? But this guy tells us if the velocity we're currently going at is fast enough to be considered running or walking. The idea is that the guy in charge of making sure that we are actually running is going to be the animation guy, because the animation guy knows whether it's asking to do the walk or the run animation. So it'll only ask when it's doing the run animation, and then it'll decide whether it's walk or run. Did that make sense? It made sense to me, right? The determination for whether we're running or walking has already been done, but that's what this line determines, right? If this is true, then we're in the ground moving, right? And whether it's walk or run has already been determined by here, so this guy gets to ask, hey, are we at the running speed? And it'll know that if it is true, it is the run animation, because it's not going to be the jumping animation, because we already did that, right? If that didn't make sense to you, don't fucking worry about it, man. I'm gonna be honest, half the time I explain things like that, it's not really to explain it to you, like an audience. It's to explain it to myself to make sure that I got it well figured out, right? Velocity ratio is larger than... yeah. Okay. And then we have to deal with those two warnings because it's true, we don't need this anymore. Save. Excellent, 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 excellent. Okay. Did the program crash? There's a program that should be opening with me right now, and that it's kind of not. Did it crash for me? What happened? What happened? Wait, no, giddy up, I need you. It's my Git repository manager, and it's not opening. It's not opening. What's going on? Help. Oh no, if I don't have my repository manager, I'm in trouble, man. I don't know how to use Git on the command line. Are you kidding? Who learns that? Nobody learns that. Everybody learns that. Every programmer learns that, but that's because they're fucking nerds. Oh no. It's not even big. It's not even starting. Alright. We're gonna have to deal with that later. Yeah. I said it here. Yeah, you heard it from me. Programmers are fucking nerds. That includes me. Don't get me wrong. I'm not better. But at the very least, I don't know how to use Git on the command line, and I'll never learn. Unless I get an interesting Raspberry Pis and start coding one of them. Okay, maybe then. Because then you have no choice but the command line. I mean, it can't be that difficult. It's not difficult. That's the thing, right? Like you'll talk to a programmer and he'll be like, "Oh, it's skill issue." No, it's not a skill issue. It's not that I don't have the skill to do it. It's that I can't be fucking bothered because I actually appreciate and realize the value of my own time and effort. So I like to not waste it unnecessarily. Loser. Shoves into a locker. Okay. Right, I got distracted. I forgot what I was doing. Right, yeah. I made the function. 3 errors appeared and I didn't change anything. Did I accidentally? Did I accidentally drag a line from? Oh, that's weird. How did I even do that? How did I even manage to do that? Okay, so yeah, I made this function that returns a boolean that tells you whether we are at the running speed, yes or no. And so this guy is going to have a reference to the animation. Like, Jesus, I keep making and not making that reference. I just can't decide. Export variable animator. No. It's movement handler. It's gonna be the player movement handler. Right. That it is player is implied by the fact that this is the player animation state determined, so it's like who else's movement handler would it be? Right? So then we assign this guy and now we can use the functions in it. So we can just go in here and be like, hey, on every time that we determine this, I want to also determine this is okay. Hold on, I'm realizing, yeah, this function is only called on these signals and this one. So it's only going to check when you start or end a run. It's not going to change when a run becomes a walk. So like it is going to work, but not very clean. Well, let's do it anyway, and I can add the other functionality later, right? So yeah, so here it is going to check here. Well, yeah, whether it's walk or run is going to be determined here. So if movement handler point is at running speed, then the name of the animation is actually run. Otherwise it's walk. Boom. Right? Right. And so right. So then I would need to make the animation, but this is not complete yet because this is only going to update the animation when it happens. So I have to make sure that the animation is updated when it's not happening. Right? What do you mean misconnect the method? I deleted the method. Oh, no, never mind. Yeah, he doesn't know that. Okay, I get it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Can I unconnect those methods that you think exist but don't? We'll worry about that later. Okay, so now I need to make sure that this transition, this animation determination is triggered when the player changes velocity as well. So I need to remake that thing that I deleted. Oh my god, I'm so messy when I code, man. I keep deleting shit that I'm going to that I actually needed, and then it's too far behind the whatchamacallit. It's too far behind the history for me to just Control Z my way back. And I need to be better about planning my code a bit better. Right, so what we want to do is we want to check this velocity ratio every frame, and we're going to check if it went above or below a threshold. And if it did, we're going to send the signal. So, well, actually, we don't need to do that. If it's the running speed, and then we save that as a variable. So var running speed equals the result of that. And then at the end of the frame, well, actually no, it's better if we just make it one variable. So variable running speed bold, right? And so we then check it here. So and then we store it, right? We save it. We will know this variable. So then, yeah, at the end of the frame, the physics tick actually. The first thing that we do is update the running speed. So running speed equals whether we are running speed. Or rather, no, new variable actually. No, because this makes it sound... Yeah, no, we're gonna do it here, like that. Is running speed this frame equals whether is running speed? Is that running speed? And then at the end of the frame, running speed is going to be equal to that. So whether is running speed this frame. And in the middle, we can check the difference. So if running speed is not the same as is running speed this frame, then that means that previous frame we were, but right now we're not. Right? Or the previous frame we weren't, but now we are. So that means that we have crossed the threshold in either direction. We don't care about which direction now, because the animator is going to be the one who asks that later. So when we do that, we gotta trigger the signal crossed run threshold emit. And then we gotta define the signal so that this guy knows what the fuck we're talking about. Signal cross run threshold, like that. So the idea is now we can take this signal that now exists and tell the animation tree about it. The animation tree then when that happens, we'll just trigger another animation determine cycle. It won't even change any of the other stuff, right? So then if it was already on state walk, then it's gonna check whether it's run or walk, and it doesn't change the state. Like those two run or walk are actually the same state, which is walk, which is clumsy, but whatever. At this point, whatever. And yeah, and that should make it so that we can have a walk and run animation at the same time, right? And then they're gonna try to shove that into the body transition request. We have to make sure that the transition request knows that that exists. In order for that to happen, we're gonna need to make sure that that has an animation. So we're gonna have to make that animation. The animation should be almost exactly as the body walk, but different and faster. So we're gonna do... Can I copy animations? Duplicate, yes I can. Okay, and this is going to be body run Yeah, and now I can just do this thing. So this should be like this. Just looking at the reference picture, I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger. There you go. So looking at this reference, I can see it uses a different body. So let's change that body sprite. Oh, that's the scale. Okay, never mind that. This. Okay. Load, and we want to load in assets, player, run. Yeah, there we go. It's this one. Here, that one. And then here it's the other one. So load, assets, player, run, the other one. So then it's like that. And that. Why did my screen disappear? What happened? Hello? Help. Why did my screen disappear? What's happening? It only disappeared on stream. Like, I can actually see it. It hasn't crashed, which is good. Okay, there you go. Okay, so yeah, you can see now with the new player with the run sprites, right? It looks like this now. And then I gotta switch the arm positions a little bit so that he looks like he is just holding his hands in a different place. So for the main hand, idle anchor. Yeah, these are idle hands. So for the idle, the position should start. I need to zoom this in, man. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, so the hands should start. This one should start like up here, actually. Up. Up here and farther away to sort of sell that it's moving quick, and rotate it around like this much, about. And then this should pretty much be, oh, here it's really hurting me to not have copy and paste. What do you mean I can't go frame by frame? Because I feel like I was able to do that the last time. Right, like position myself exactly on top of this. And then paste. Like, copy this, paste it here. Yeah, why the fuck is it rotating? I hate the Godot animator so much. Why are you rotating? And then the same thing here, so we take this, we paste it like here. No, not there. Right there. So the idea is for this one, the rotation should be mostly the same, right? So it should just be kind of jiggling up and down. So let's just copy this, copy key, paste key, copy key, paste key, right? So it's just like that. Still no clue why it thinks that it should do what it's doing. That like hard bump. Why it suddenly falls here. I don't really get it. The position should be the same. There's not really anything should be affecting it. But animations are just stupid, I guess. When they want to be. Yeah, and now you think that's a different position. Explain. Explain to me. Copy key. Paste key. Then paste it here. Yeah, there you go. That's what I want. Okay. So here, this should move up, but only a little bit. Yeah, I think that was moving something different. Yeah, okay, so this should move up, but only a little bit. Then... and then this one should move down only a little bit, like that. So it's sort of like it's bouncing, right? Like it's up, then down, then trying to pick back up. So this should actually be like this. Except actually, I probably don't want that. I probably just want these to be like farther forward, right? Yeah, something like that. And then we deal with the other hand. So move this here and here just to match. Then change the position to what I want, which should be like all the way up here. Maybe a little bit further out. Right. Change the rotation to this. Then move this. Then, yeah, copy this position. Paste it here and paste it here. Then copy this rotation. Paste it here and paste it here, and then just sort of play with this in the same way. So this one should move down sort of to be about the same height, like here, and then here move back up, but only a little bit. Yeah, and then here we sort of have the same thing. So all of these squares should be moving. No, not these two, not these two. We don't want to move the idle anchors. We want to move these like, oh no, what is that? Like 1 second before? Like over 1 second before. So like here, or 1/10 of a second. So here, right? And then this should just copy these movements, so but on the opposite hand. So this goes here, this goes here, then this goes here, and then this goes here, and this goes here, and yeah, that early one goes here. Explain this to me. Explain this to me. There are two squares at the same. God, why is that even possible? Right. I continue to hate the Godot animator. I continue to despise it. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, I don't know. I clearly it's a skill issue, right? Clearly I just have failed at using it. I didn't mean to do that. Clearly I'm just failing at using it, but I don't really get what it is that I'm doing wrong. Like, what part of my brain is not mingling with this in the correct way? You know what I mean? Okay, so what does this look like? Yeah, okay, if that's going to happen, if they're gonna switch like that, then they should imply, because this motion is invisible, right? It's sub one frame, but they should still imply that swing, right? So rather than bouncing just up and down, they should bounce like, here they should be another frame, like here, that is just up and to the right. Right? And it should be like super quick, really. It should be like something like that. Would that work? Because okay, let me see the walk, right? I feel like I want to see that. Yeah, the crossover happens here. You know what though? Actually, here's the issue. I think I'm overcomplicating this. I think the hands don't need to switch hands. Don't need to switch places actually. I think it's better if they don't. Like if I just do it like this and I just copy the three positions, so copy key, paste key, place it here. Copy key, paste key, place it here, because the idea is that he has his little hands up, right? So from his perspective, they're not one at his left and one at his right, they're both like to the side, like it's like a Naruto run, right? You don't swing your arms when you're doing that, so it would have to work like that, because right, it looks like left and right to us because he's a little flat guy in a three-dimensional world, but he's actually just, from his perspective, like he's not actually facing the side, right? He's facing like 3/4 towards the camera, so his hands look like they're to the left and to the right, but from his perspective, they're at his sides. He's just keeping them both at his sides. So that's what we're trying to sort of emulate here, right? So the hands don't actually switch places because they're not back and forth, is what I'm saying. Or, like I put it more succinctly before, an arrow to run. There's some weirdness in the middle here. Yeah, there's a frame here that doesn't belong. The frame here that doesn't belong. This one. Yeah, so you have this run and you have this walk. Right? And so now, okay, so now these two animations exist. So let's save, and then we add them to the animation tree. Let's make this a bit smaller since I don't need it anymore. So then we go on the animation tree and we make sure that that thing knows that that exists. Yeah. So then we go here. So this walk, it also needs a run, doesn't it? So then let's add it here. So this guy is going to need an extra parameter. Its inputs is called the run. And this connects to something that is very much like this. So we're gonna copy these two. We're going to paste them. Oh, that doesn't work that way. Okay, so yeah, just animation. We input the animation, that's the body run. We need a timescale as well because this is, I animated at the same speed, but it should be faster. So let's say if that's 1.2, then this is 1.6 and see how that goes. And we paste that into the run here. And then that should be able to make it so that that guy can access, right? Ooh, there's an issue. It only runs to the right because speed towards the left is negative. So we need to make it just take magnitude, not definite value, right? So yeah, where is that anyway? Yeah, it's on the movement handler. So here it's this. Yeah, it's not current horizontal speed, it's current horizontal speed if we ignore the sign. Is there a way to do that in Godot? Just the Godot absolute value. Oh, okay, yeah, there's just a function to do that. Absolute value of that. And that should work, right? Like it's always positive, so then it yeah, since he has quite high acceleration, he actually goes to run pretty quickly. maybe I should make the value for that a bit smaller than 0.8 for this. So let's say 0.9. Let's say 0.95. Like it should be pretty close. Right, I don't have analog control, so it's harder for me to keep him walking, right? Let's say that if I plug in my controller. Does that work? Oh, I don't have the controller added to the, well, let's add it. That makes it easier for testing anyway. Input map, we want, yeah, this is A, left, oh, my controller is not connected actually. There you go, okay. So, yeah, for left, okay. For right, okay. For jump, okay. For grab, actually, this is better for me anyway, for my preference, for my very specific preference. For throw, although throw should just be grab, shouldn't it? Throw and grab are the same button. And then for extra should be square. There we go, okay. Yeah, he runs and he walks. It's great, okay. And then if I grab something, he slows down to a walk. Yeah, okay, it walks and runs. That's great. Okay, I'm liking more and more how it looks. I'm gonna have to adjust the position of the grab tether though, because it goes through the hands. But that's easy, and it's just moving a node around a little bit. Okay. So given that that's the case, let's well, actually, why not do that right now? Let's move that tether. The main issue with that tether is that it's a part of the main hand. And so I can't access it in the animator because it's part of a child node. But logically speaking, it should be a part of the animator, shouldn't it? The animator should know where those tethers are so that it could place them, so that it could move them along with the animations, right? That way I can have an animation say, if the orb shakes a little bit, or if the guy just sort of twists it without moving his hand as much, or something like that, I can do those things in the animator. So this should be really an external reference, not an internal one. Does changing that break anything though? Next thing is currently being referenced as the hold anchor point. No, it's being referenced as the held position. The held position doesn't need to be internal at all. So that's good. We can move this from here to here. And we can get rid of this. And then the main hand doesn't have this held position, but it doesn't need it anymore here, right? Just sort of like that. And then on the player, we can have this thing just sort of set. So we can create another marker here. Marker 3D, and this is the health position. Right, and then this, we make this. We tell the main hand that that is your health position. It's this guy, right? And so now we can animate it, and that's the thing that's nice about that. So yeah, we need to adjust the animation so that the health position is in a place where it makes sense. Let's give this health position a child node just so that we can actually see it. That is a sprite 3D. That is a gradient, because that's what all my other things are. What does it look like? It looks like that. Okay, yeah, that's the correct size. And then we can get to animating it. So we go to the animation player and we change all those animations. First of all, I'm gonna have to tell the hands that I want to preview them in hold mode, because that's what makes sense. And then, yeah, in hold mode, and then you do body break. Why are they not going to the position? Because I gotta turn that on. Yeah, okay. So now I gotta adjust the position for each of these. So for body break, they should be like here, and also rotated like this. This, right? And then it should move along the hand. Oh no, the hands don't move in this one. Okay. And then, yeah, so we're gonna need to add those tracks, right? So property, that is the health position. The health position position, and the health position rotation. So position and health position rotation. That. And then we add those as keys. So key here, key here. Did that add it in the reset? Should have. Okay. So then for the body, for the hand hold, and then we go for the body. So that works for the body break. For the body idle, we're going to need to add those two tracks again. So health position, health position, rotation. And then we're gonna put this like here, right? So and then add those as keys. Then for the run, yeah, for the run it's gonna be a bit different. Here it has to change. So actually, doesn't it have to change for the idle as well? Doesn't it go gently up and down? Yeah, it does. Okay, so yeah, it should use the same easing and the same sort of so yeah, here it's 1, then this one is minus 2.21, so insert key minus 2.21. And then for here it's 2.21 positive, so then insert another key here. 2.21 positive, and then yeah, so this and then this one goes up, so it should be like up here, and then this one goes back down, and it should be the same as this one. So my 1.387, 1.387, and then it does. Exactly exactly what you would expect. Yeah. Then for the body run, it should basically do the same thing. So we need to add those two tracks. Are they added yet? No, they're not. Okay, so we need to add those two tracks. Health position, pause, and health position, rot. Right, so who the fuck told you to suddenly change your position, eh? You stinking parasite. I'm going to kill you. I had it where I wanted it, and now I lost that. For zero reason, it just decided to do that. Why? What part of you decided to move? I copied the key. This is the key. Right here. I copy the key. I paste the key. It doesn't change. I'm gonna have to copy it by hand like an ape. Okay, 0.00. What's this 0.09? It should be 0, but whatever. 1387 minus 122. 1387 minus 122. 1.387, even though that's exactly what they say. Minus 0.122. Oh, now you're in the right position. Amazing. Alright. So yeah, 2.46, that's what we're looking for, so... And then this one is just one. Just one. And this one is 0.615, so 0.615. And this one it's 2.46, so 2.46. And this one is 1, so in here 1, right? And then here this one has to move up. So I have to move to the right. But not as much as the hand, right? So here. And then here it stays, so all of these should be 0.023. And since the hand moved the same way, then they should be the same on the Y. So they should be 1637, 1.637, and this one should be 1387, 1387. Yeah, so that one's fine. So it should look like that. Okay, it's not perfect actually. If I had it the way I wanted it, I would like move this a little bit to the right, like a couple of frames, so that it does. Yeah, there you go, so that it kind of bounces, right? Yeah, that actually looks a lot better. I could exaggerate that bounce, but I kind of don't wanna. Like, that risks not being very clear. There's a game mechanics. Okay. And the rotation is just like that. Okay, so then the body walk would be pretty much the same. But Godot really doesn't like it when you copy a bunch of keys, does it? I'll try. I don't expect it to work. totally did. Alright, I'll take it. And then the hands, but the animations for the hands don't include that. Oddly, right? It feels like it should, but they, by name alone, but they don't. Okay, so that should make everything look nicer now. Like the guy is now holding the object. Well, yeah, that part, and that's not supposed to be visible. You just die. Actually, no, don't die. Stay there, but be invisible. Because I may want that marker later. Okay, so yeah, he walks. He runs. He fucks up the frame rate of my stream. Is that coming through? It's running fine on my end, so what that tells me is that OBS is the one that's dying. I'm not dropping frames, so it's not a connectivity issue. It's fine here, it's fine on the viewer. But then here, oh my god! It looks amazing is the thing, like it looks fine on the program itself, it's just OBS. What the hell? Do I just have too many sources on screen? Is VTube Studio being an idiot? What's going on? Yeah, no, frame rate is terrible on stream. But then as soon as I close it, it's back to silky smooth. Ooh, what is the issue? What's going on here? Is it the dim? Okay, what if I take all the sources out except the one? I shouldn't have taken the audio. That's not what I meant to do, okay. Okay, what if I take off that source too? Not that one, not that one. What if I take off this and put up VTube Studio? I'm just dealing with technical difficulties now. Right, so yeah, just with VTube Studio, the frame rate still sucks. Which means that it's my computer just struggling to run this. Oh, I'm an idiot, I know what it is. I know what it was. Yeah, it's running fine now, isn't it? Yep, immediately better. Yeah, I had the computer running on battery saver mode. That's what it was. Oh, that means that this stream must have been ass the entire time, huh? Man, sorry about that. Anyway, this guy looks great though. Look at him. He walks, he runs, he carries things on his little hands, and they actually stay in the proper place now. They even seem to bounce a little bit. Just a little bit, just a tiny bit. They're not just going through his hands anymore. He walks and he runs and he switches back to walking when he's going slow enough. Like run, walk, run, walk, walk, run, walk, run, walk, run, walk, run. It's great. It looks good. All right. Since I said I was going to keep it shorter this time, I'm going to be done with the coding with that for now on. Just because I'm tired. I'm honestly kind of tired. So I could definitely do a lot more work on this, but I'd rather keep it a little bit short for now, for today, right? Holiday season, you know, can be tiring. Although to be honest, I haven't really done much. Either way, I'm tired. It's probably just the heat, if I'm being honest. And also I have other stuff to do. So I'm gonna be right back. And when I'm back, we're gonna keep playing Blasphemous for a bit. And yeah, sit tight, okay?